Childhood, growing and developing years of a person, this is meant to be a highly important time to create morals, fundamentals, and skills necessary to be a success. Instead, the trauma CPS creates in these young minds set a path of disaster, and statistics prove it. In nearly 90% of their cases, the trauma is unnecessary. Time is the one thing that can never be given back. CPS takes away moments in life that can't be replaced. The time just keeps going, doesn't mean a thing anymore. They left as children, and it's up to them when they come home if they know who you are. Each second away is time you will never get back, and keep getting older.
Studies are leading towards incarceration.
Now comes the honorable judge in the halls of justice, where the Constitution will hold strong, and your rights to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness will trample CPS for all they have done to your child.
The truth and corruption that's revealed to you is enough to make you sick. This is not America we were sold.
Children are being taken from families at the rate of one a minute. It needs to be stopped.
It's time to wake up and abolish CPS.
All right. Hey, all right, Tiff, there we are. I can see you. Can we hear you?
Yep. And we are live on my channel because I got it going on my other phone.
Oh, beautiful. So we're live everywhere. All right. So what's up, Tiff? How are we doing today?
Good. What's going on?
Good. Oh, you know, fighting this good fight that we call yes. Demolish it, destroy it, or whatever. Hey, did you know that I write bills and stuff? Not like for the paying your payments, but like I have a bill that I wrote to. Do you like my city that's behind me now?
I do like it.
View. It's my view from my room.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere. People didn't send me the right size one, but that's all right. So that's all right. But oh, you know, what was I gonna say? So what I was thinking was today. Oh, we got some people in the chat already. Too. Oh, Arjuna, Miss Clearwater's in the house. Very nice. Do you know Arjuna? Do you know her, Miss Clearwater? These are my friends from the United Kingdom. They're in
yeah?
Yeah, they're from over in the UK. They're freaking awesome. I mean, these people are. If you got people right here. Oh, you just popped around. You never leave a whole lot of stuff. All right. Let's see here. Carrie Weeper's out here with us. You can, yeah. See, you need to get into the admin so you can see all the comments.
I can see.
Okay, you can see him. I know you was complaining about it last time.
Well, right, no, my daughter was complaining about it.
Oh, all right. So yeah. So what was I saying? I don't even remember what I was saying.
You were talking about you write bills.
Oh yeah, I write bills. So I have a bill that we've written that it's about instead of incentivizing adoption, it's all about incentivizing reunification. So if they flip that around, they'd have to be making families stay together to get their bonus, as opposed to adopting them and then they don't get their bonus. Because what do you know about it? What do you know about the bonuses? Because there seems to be like this long time myth that they make all kinds of money and this, that, and this. Do you know what the truth is, or do you have something inside of this? Like, what is the real truth behind all this?
Well, I can only talk for Virginia. And I can barely hear you because I hear the CD playing.
Yeah, I'm gonna change it right now.
Gotcha. I know in Virginia, the state gets 150 to 200,000 per child adopted here through CPS.
Okay.
I don't know about other states.
Right, but where does that money go?
Huh. I don't know
I
where it
mean,
goes.
is it fair to say that these caseworkers are getting paid bonuses for doing what they do?
Yes, they get incentives for every child they snatch, and God only knows how much they get per adoption because the United States is the biggest adoption agency and child trafficker as far as I'm concerned.
Oh yeah, facts show that.
So my husband always said, you want to piss somebody off and you really want to make change, go for their money. And that's where we need to go. We need to start getting that money that the states are collecting from stealing these kids. And you're right. Instead of making incentives for taking children out of the home, we need to make incentives for keeping the kids in the home with services.
Mm-hmm. That's it. So I mean, that's a very simple move that all of us together could start to motivate and to make that on the front. I mean, we come together. I mean, I can have you look over this bill that I've written, see what you think about it, see what we can add, put to it. I can have the guys, we can all look at it. I know that we have on, CPS Victims Hunting Justice, but all of us looked at it. Let's tweak it and let's start pushing things like that. Let's hit them in their wall. That's a simple, simple solution that every one of us can start putting our efforts toward. And then what excuse do they have then at that point, right? Like, what excuse do they have, the congressmen and the senators and all these people, to say that if we just go out there and say, hey, you know what, just real easy, just instead of incentivizing adoption, let's put that money back into the families, and let's incentivize for reunification. Why wouldn't you just even give that an opportunity, right?
You know why? Have you ever heard the saying, if it's not broke, you can't fix it?
Right.
To them, the system is not broken because it works in their favor.
Of
But the
course.
system
Yep.
is broken and we need it to work in our favor because we are the government. We
Right.
control our government.
Mm-hmm. That's the truth. And so many people have forgotten that we are the ones that are in control, or supposed to be. Um, there's more and more people, I think, that are waking up to that. But the first thing that needs to be woken up to is the fact that they're stealing our freaking kids. They're incentivized by doing this because we have, for instance, Herbert on the show after this. He doesn't believe that they're incentivized, that they're paid to adopt out the kids, when it clearly says it in the American Safe Families Act. It says, hey, if we adopt your children, but he says, hey, that's not being paid to take them. Well, you have to take them to get them to be adopted. So, yes, it is. They're being paid to take them.
Yes.
Um, so, it's just, but it's hard because people will argue with you about that. And that's like the one crux thing, because we don't necessarily have a smoking gun that says, hey, we are taking money from your kid being stolen. But you can put the dots together, and you can put all the things in alignment, and you can put into your head where it says already, like, look, you are getting money for this, and we can use that, right? Like, we can use all that and say, yes, they are getting incentivized for taking our children.
Yes, they are. And I don't know who this person is that you're about to talk to in your next show, but you just send them my way because I've been doing this 35 years. And I'm going to tell you right now, he can talk all that shit he wants. I know what the deal is.
Right.
And you know where the money's going? It's going to the judges, the lawyers, the state, the attorney general. It's going to every state that collects money off these children. That's who it pays. It pays the police department to go protect them when they come to steal your kids. It goes
Right.
to the courts, right? Because how else are you going to buy judges? You got to
Yep.
make it legal, right? So they're laundering money as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
Blood
Yep.
money.
Yeah. More than blood money. That's
It's a
soul money,
ransom.
really. That's soul money. They're taking kids' souls.
They are harming this generation that's coming up, right? And these are our future leaders. And
Yeah.
if we can't make the change, you can bet your sweet ass they're gonna make the change because they're the victims.
Right. They are, and hopefully we'll have enough people that will have a backbone after they're done screwing all these people's minds up. With what they're doing. Like the study from the University of Baltimore, the harm of removal, says it all. It talks about what the people that are in the foster care system or just being removed from your family, what a traumatic experience it is, how much it destroys you. Even if you were abused in your family home situation, they say that the separation and how they tore you out of your away from your family is just treacherous. I mean, I know what it's like to have a kid stolen from me, so I can't imagine being a kid taken from your safety net. Like so. I mean, my world every day is upside down. That'll be that way for the rest of my life. Um, but I can't imagine what they must think, right? So how does a little kid with zero confidence, zero safety net, zero any of this stuff thrive through schools and come out on the other side squeaky clean and be okay? I mean, if they are going to be successful, they're going to have issues, and that's to be said for it because they're not helping them when they age out.
I don't know if I sent you this report. If I didn't, I will. I think it was the American Bar Association.
Mm-hmm.
After 70 years, finally admitted that they targeted Black and brown children and removed them at a 60% higher rate than their white constituents.
Wow.
And not just that, the Hispanic community as well. I have to send you the report. They finally admitted it this year.
Wow. Is that
And
something
they
that's been
knew the
hiding for like 50
whole
years?
time.
What?
They knew the whole time, but they kept lying about it.
Of course. And I think we did too, don't we? Like once you're involved in this, you can see it. It's like the whole writing's right on the wall. Once they take your kid and you walk yourself into this thing, you can see it all. Like you really can. After you get through the upset and the tears and because I feel like it's like, what is it that, like the 7 levels of, like when someone dies, the 7 levels of grief. I think there's something like that with CPS too. Like you go through the first, you're just destroyed because your kid's been taken. Then you go through the part where you're like, I can't believe this is happening. There's no way. And I'm the only one on earth that this has happened to the belief that there's no way that the government's not going to do something and step in. They must not know that this is going on. So let me write to a senator. Then there's a little period of time that goes by that you start not getting any responses and no one gives a shit. And then it goes to, wow, because you start talking on groups online and stuff, and you find people like how we met and so on in different levels and categories. So now you realize that you're in some shit because you're probably not going to get your kid back because everybody you're talking to online hasn't gotten their kid back because these people steal them illegally, and then there's no way, or legally, I'm sorry. So there's no remedy to actually get your kid back from someone that did something that the law said that they could do. That's the problem that we have, unless we can beat them in the courtroom. But then you can't beat them in the courtroom because the money trickles down to the pockets of the people that are making the decisions. So this whole thing is just this big conundrum. And at the end of it, you end up with like you or I, where you're like, well, fuck, let's just try to help everybody the best we can and hope that this doesn't happen. In the meantime, we'll fight for our kids too. And so on. And that's what, what I mean? You finally come to the end where you're like, wow, like it's not that you don't try anymore, but it's just, you've come to this realization that, like, I got to figure this out because all of this isn't working.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where we're at. We're at this new, like, especially someone like you've been in this for 35 years. You've seen a reconstruction how many times of the methods and the madness that's been going on? Like, how many times have you seen different things come about since you've been in this? Like, start from, like, due process. You know what I'm saying though? Like how many times have you thought that you had the bread and butter to win and then it changed up and they moved it to something else?
It happens all the time, every day, all day. It happens all the time. But see, I'm a pattern person. I said this before. Have you ever looked up the definition of insanity?
Of insanity? Yeah, wasn't it doing the same thing over and over to expect this different result?
Okay,
something like that?
So CPS is insane because they literally in all 50 some states practice the same shit. They're so predictable. That's why the night they were at my house, my daughter, when she left the hospital, my only words to her were, do not get him anything to eat until you cross that state line. She said, what
Right.
about CPS? I said, girl, I got CPS because I already know what's going down. And they
Right.
showed me again how insane they are because I know exactly how to handle them.
Which is one of the things that you like to give out and give information to people and help them, and you do it for free most of the time,
I do
all the time. Which that's the nice
all
thing
the
too,
time.
because there's a thing here, and I understand people need to make their money. Like I do this all the time. My money, I pay a lot of money to be able to do the artworks and this, and I won't be like, hey, donate some money to help the cause of the kids. No, if you want to donate to the show, then donate to the show, and then we'll use that money to help, like help pay for the bills. But if you're donating money to help a cause or a family or whatever, no, you don't use that money for that people work hard enough for their money. They don't need to pay for this. And if someone gives you free information, you damn well best not be caught up putting it out on some little pamphlet yourself and then charging people for the goddamn stuff. Because that's not right either. Like that's
Amen.
not it.
I have never charged anybody. Now, I did have a guy who would not leave my house till I took $25 for the ink that I used to print out all his stuff. So I accepted his $25.
Right.
But I mean, people that have my address that I've helped, they send me stuff at Christmas time. But they won't tell me until, because I guess they track it, and then they'll call me and be like, hey, I sent you something.
Right.
But my only thing is, I only want two things. The first thing is I want to see you get your kid back or home. And the second thing is just advocate for somebody else. Everything that I taught you, you should have learned. That's all I ask for.
So you say pass it on, pay it forward.
Pay it forward.
Pay it forward. So Tiff's pay it forward motto. That's it. So if I catch anybody out there, you're taking any of her information and trying to charge people for it, there's going to be hell to pay, and I'm not going to do it. It's going to be this lady right here.
And I am a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I know. Your camera shakes while you're talking on this show. I can only imagine what it's like in person.
There's only one person I'm afraid of. He's in Texas. No. He's in Texas, and I am his daughter. That's the only man that I fear.
Yep. Yep, that's the truth too. Yep, sure is. So yeah, I mean that little rant would just kind of went on, but I mean that's pretty much the gist of all this, isn't it? Like this is where we're at. We can sit here and go night after night and talk about, well, in section 1, chapter 3 of the, no, it doesn't work like that. Because all those policies and procedures, they're not following anyway. They're not doing anything with these books. They're not following any of their own rules and procedures. They're all covered up by immunities that are just asinine and out of place. What have you seen? How has immunity moved forward through the years as you've been here? Like, has immunity gained strength, lost strength? Was it non-existent and came to existent? Like, how have you seen that grab a hold of this movement?
How have I seen stuff moving forward?
What have you seen? How has immunity for these people changed? Was there immunity at first? Was there not? How has that moved? How has that moved to either help or hurt the movement against CPS?
Well, I'll say this. More and more states and more legislative bodies are starting to understand what's going on. So they are trying to change some laws. But people got to contact these people. I mean, you can look up their email addresses, call them, email them, send them a letter.
Yep. I mean, we put up that website, I think, the other day, didn't we?
Yeah.
The one that
and believe it or not, it is changing. And CPS, look, the best United States Supreme Court ruling that ever happened was Chevron. And that took a lot of hot air out of the balloon for all the alphabet agencies.
Sure did. It sure did. We can get you guys copies of that too, of that case law. If you guys need that, just if you don't mind, Tiff, I'll just have them go to the CPSV Hunting Justice Gmail if you want. Or do you have a Gmail that they can use too? What's your email, Tiff, that we could have people get in touch with you if you want that done?
It's 24 Tiffany, TIFFINI @gmail.com. But if you follow me on Facebook, I post this stuff every day.
She is the news, people.
Now I do get thrown in jail quite a bit. Facebook jail.
You do a 30-day vacation over there?
Yeah, they be blocking me and saying I can't post stuff and this, that, and the third. But yeah, I post stuff all the time on my Facebook page. Tiffany and Mitch Wise. Picture of the Virginia Constitution.
Let me see here. All right. I'm putting this stuff up on here for the screen here, so just bear with me. We don't have everything up here yet for this show, so it's like starting over fresh. Put the graphics up and everything. But there we go. So it's Tiffany with an I, right? On Tiffany and Mitch Wise, right?
No, Tiffany, just 24 Tiffany @gmail.com.
Right. I know that, but I'm talking about on Facebook. Tiffany and Mitch Wise.
Tiffany and Mitch Wise.
I have you right over here. My bad. Tiffany and Mitch Wise. All right, cool. Mitch.
Oh, wow.
Hey, and tonight we are finally locked up with your Wicked Warriors group, are we not? So we're in
yes,
there
we are.
Group. That's awesome. Welcome, you guys. I'm sure that we got a lot of people from you. Oh, Lord, look at what Brooks says. They're in the middle of changing a bunch of things in the manual in Minnesota. Wow. Jesus almighty.
No, 24 Tiffany. And you spell, no, 24 TIFFINI @gmail.com. Brooke had it wrong.
24. Now this is going to be a prize. All right. Jesus almighty. 2 4
TIFFINI @gmail.
Got it. Thank you, Brooke, for helping me too. Appreciate that. I got a lot of people that help me out with everything I do. It's crazy, and I'm
That's
so
cool.
thankful that all these people are that do help me. You know, Carrie kind of I'm not allowed to call her a secretary because that ruins her street credentials, but she kind of plays that role. And Brooke does a lot of research things for me and helps me out with a lot of stuff that way. There's a lot. I mean, it takes a lot to do these things day in and day out. I mean, there's not a lot of like you're drudging up new content every day, trying to, what I mean? It's kind of so it's really hard to.
That's why I only do my show twice a week.
Yeah, well, that's why we're doing this one now. How many days a week are we doing, Tiff?
I don't know. We couldn't come on yesterday because I had a sick baby.
Tiffany already called out sick one show.
Oh, God, and I hear the baby now. Here he comes. Come here, Roly Poly. Hold on. Let me show you Roly Poly.
Like 9'3".
Come here. Come here. Can you say hi? Hi. No, come here. Say hi.
Hey,
Say
baby.
hi. Come here, Roly Poly.
That's a baby, folks. Tiffany's world.
This is the Roly Poly ravioli right here.
That's the Roly Poly man, huh? What's up, dude? You on TV?
You silly. You got a kiss. Give me a kiss. Mwah. Okay. Go with Papa. Go with Papa. Sorry about that.
No, you don't. You ever be sorry for freaking saying night to the grandkids and all that? You know what? You know how many people, if they didn't have their kids, that just melted their heart and gave them a good smile. You know what? Because if they couldn't do it themselves, it's nice to see other people. Because survivor's guilt's not something that's positive that you should be getting if you're in this. Like,
No.
you get those people that get that, they don't want to be like loving with their kids in front of their, because they're afraid that, I would be upset, or, like, don't ever feel upset for loving your kids or your grandkids or nothing. Like, that's not anything to have survivor's guilt for. If anything, being in these situations should be something to hug your kids more. You know what I mean? Like,
And now the whole crew's down here, Papa, the babies.
Yeah. Making everything happen. Look how busy we are, Mama. We on to working.
It's about to get loud.
Yeah, Gravy's on the show. We got to clean up the house.
He's got to go get a popsicle.
Of course. I would try for a popsicle, too. Oh, man. But you know what? It's fun, though, right? Isn't it fun?
Yeah, they're fun. Sometimes.
Yep.
So they break my waffle iron and my coffee pot and throw stuff and break my TV.
Yeah, it was better than your heart, Be replaced. All right, so I think I got this right. I'm going to put it up here. We're going to try this again. Boom. And now it should say on the bottom here, we'll be starting in just a moment. Perfect. It should say 24tiffany@gmail.com, right?
Yep.
And then Tiffany and Mitch Weiss in Facebook.
WISE.
You're right? Yeah, WISE. We're good.
Yep.
I did it. A+. Oh, it's Brooke's little boy's birthday today, I guess. Oh, well, happy birthday to him. Sorry, Brooke, that you can't be with him. That's sad. That's hard days. Hard days are your, the birthdays and the Christmases. And, my wife was saying that we should start, like some sort of big shenanigans for families that did lose their kids, but at Christmas times you do some sort of everybody gets together and has the holidays together or something like that. Like you pick like a destination to go to, because it's hard to even go on vacations and everything once this happens to you. You become so isolated. You become such an introvert. You lock yourself in on your own because you're afraid if people are going to be like, hey, how's your kid? And you're like, Jesus almighty, tell the story for the 800th time, and they don't understand it, so they don't care anyway. Their responses to you aren't genuinely good enough to get, like it hurts you mostly more than it helps you, because I understand as their kids are sitting there eating out of the grocery line and you're screaming at them, and you've got a 12-pack of beer and a salami. You know what I mean? Like, you're not grocery shopping for anything anymore but yourself. It's a whole different thing. So in lieu of that, like to start some sort of a vacation destination or something where everybody can get together at Christmas and make a newfound family.
Yeah.
Something. Who knows?
Well, I will tell you
that
even when they become adults, right? And I'm speaking, everything I talk about is mostly personal experience because, my God, I've been through so much shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's also through people that I've advocated for. But for me personally, every holiday and every birthday still, 35 years later, is still devastating to me because I think about her and she's an adult. So
right.
The pain, when they say, oh, time heals all wounds. No. Not for me, because my wound is still very fresh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every day, like it's tough. My wife and I, we don't even barely sleep in a bedroom anymore. You know what I mean? You just kind of sleep wherever you are. And, like she said, she doesn't like to get up, like she does, because when she wakes up from going to sleep, it's like it hits her again. So she'd rather just take a nap in the chair, and you know what I mean, and not like go through those motions of going to bed and all of that stuff, because it's all fresh to her every time when she wakes up, and then you wake up and sometimes it almost gives you that false sense of, like you wake up almost excited for a split second, you wake up excited, because you're gonna see them again when they're older, but that's not mommy, daddy, let me come into the bed with you when you're they're 6 and 5 and like that stuff. You missed all that stuff, and that's irreplaceable. That's why these bastards need to pay for what they've done. That's the thing right there. Like that's what this is about. Not only for the money needs to go to those kids first and foremost, and secondly for the for the life that they took out of every one of us that they screwed with. Like that's worthy of that. I know money doesn't replace the time or the feelings and the emotions, but you know what? If all of us can hit them real hard in the pocket, maybe we can make them all go away.
Well, I will tell you that a child in foster care, when they turn 18, they can turn around and sue CPS for wrongful removals.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm so glad. Why they gotta wait till 18? That's adulthood?
Yes, because that's when you can legally sign a contract, right? Because every state is different, but in Virginia, you cannot legally sign anything until you are 18. And deprivation of rights under federal law has no expiration date. There's no statute of limitations on that.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know that.
State, it's 2 years.
Okay.
But you never want to sue in the state.
What's that?
You don't want to sue in the state.
No. Well, you're not going to get a lot either. You're
not going to get anywhere.
No. States don't bend over. They just tell them where to go.
They'll dismiss your case. That's why you file in federal court under the Constitution of deprivation of rights, them doing stuff under color of law. You always want to take that to federal court.
Okay. And we stand more of a chance in the federal courts because they go by the laws there, right? They go by the Constitution. Is that what the thing is with that?
That is their job. They have to follow the Constitution, and then the Constitution plays into federal law. It's supposed to fall into state laws too, because technically the 14th Amendment was not for the states until it was passed on to the states under the federal Constitution. I don't remember what year it was, but it was a long time ago. And I've even told people to ask for a jury trial, and their lawyers are telling them, oh, well, you can't have a jury trial in a civil case because it's all about money. Well, my child's life is worth more than $20.
Right.
So what you're telling me, this is what I told one lawyer. So what you're telling me is that a life is only worth $20? Is that what you're telling me? You misconstrued it. No, I didn't misconstrue anything because I know what the Constitution says. Unlike you, maybe you should have taken a constitutional law.
Yeah. You're misinterpreting how that reads. No, I understand English pretty well, and it says this. Yeah, misinterpreting it. Yep.
Right. No.
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead. Ladies first.
And now that Chevron was overturned, these judges can't ask CPS or child support to interpret the laws anymore. Okay? Get off your fat ass and go look the goddamn laws up yourself. You're the judge. You're supposed to know these things.
Yep. This is the truth. But interpret is in such a wide range word. Like I hate to go back to this because we always do. Yeah.
If it's a small word with a very big meaning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the truth. Just like imminent danger.
Right. And exigent circumstances.
Yeah. Yep.
In fact, I was talking about this to my dad the other day. He hasn't seen any of my videos because he doesn't know how to use YouTube, but that's okay. So I'm like, in the body cam footage, Dad, this cop is telling the CPS worker, well, if she's standing at the window eating weed, we could barge through the door. My dad said, well, how the hell would he know what you're eating? You could be eating parsley, Tiffany. You could be eating tobacco, Tiffany. And if he would have breached my door, he said that county would be called Chaconas County, and not Frederick County anymore.
That's funny. Yeah, imagine. They'd probably just hand it to you hand over fist too.
My dad told me he went on numerous CPS calls, right?
Yeah.
But he only arrested one woman because he said she was doing fine because he's a Constitution person. She was doing fine until she walked over to me and said, "Fuck you too," and pushed my dad. And he said, "See, I was about to leave. Now your ass is going to jail. Now she's taking your kid. You should have just went in your house."
Oh man. Sad but true, right? Like that's just the way the cookie crumbles. And here they come back, and neighbors looking out the window again, seeing that again. They call him back, stopping the guy at the door. It's just.
And I'm going to tell you, I
go
did
ahead.
a video on this one time, and this really just pisses me off. Okay,
Yeah.
when family members and your so-called friends call CPS on you, and you find out that it is them, you need to cut them off completely, because I have custody of two of my grandsons. Never, ever, ever, as cruddy as my daughter is to me, have I ever called CPS on her.
Jesus, I would hope not.
But what I have told her is that I'm more ruthless than CPS, and if you want to play with me, we can find out.
Oof, I don't want to turn that one down, Tiff. I don't want anything to do with that. Nothing to do with that. Are you an advocate? Are you like a licensed advocate? Are you like a certified advocate? Are you any of that? You're just an advocate?
I'm just an advocate. What do you need? Life experience is what is all that is needed. An advocate, look, I was advocating for this girl. She was telling her friend was like, "Oh my God, your advocate's going to jail for practicing law without a license." This was my reply. I said, when your friend, not if, when your friend gets a knock on the door from CPS, don't call me. Tell her to call somebody that's not practicing the law. I don't need to practice the law. It is every citizen's job to know what the laws are. That is our job.
Mm-hmm. That's it too.
Law is public. Everybody should be reading the law. And an advocate is a voice for other people. That's all advocates are.
Voice for others. Very well put, Tiffany. Voice for others.
Yep. We speak for the voiceless people.
We think for the voiceless people. Okay.
Because I told you, the hardest pill I ever had to swallow was not everybody's like me.
It must have been tough. Did you have to break in the middle? Did you have to, like a seesaw, or was it easy to? You were starting to, butt up a little bit, with these people. Was it easier for you to back off a little bit, or did you say, "No way, I'm sticking to my guns"? And you people can conform.
Listen to me. There's a couple things that I never do. I don't bend, I don't break, I don't roll over, and I do not consent. I will not comply. Period. If I know that it's going against any of my rights, I'm not backing down. And we can bump heads, we can get horns, we can do whatever we want to do, but I'm not backing down. And my will is stronger than most people I know.
Okay, sorry about that. I just
no, that's okay.
I heard the scanner and it was. All
Oh,
right,
I
let's
just
see.
read one of the comments. I saw that somebody's
What is
lawyer's
it?
actually doing something for them, and that's good because they are very far and in between.
Yep. Yep. Sure are. Polish. I will not punish their shoes or make them happy, Debbie says. But polish, I don't think you not punish. That's me. Oh, okay. Here we go, Tiff. Here's one that Brooke's bringing up right now. Now, I know for a minute there this was a good defensive tactic, but she says I never signed their case plan or any of their paperwork. I didn't need services, which is right. But what are they doing? What is okay? So explain that system a little bit. Like, okay, I didn't sign a safety plan. I didn't sign it. I didn't conform. I didn't do any of this stuff. Agree to services. Where does that lead to next?
Well, did she have a court date? Because once you do not sign a safety plan, normally they go to court and say, Miss Brooke didn't comply, so now we need a court order to make her comply, Your Honor. And if that would be me, like I did the last judge, absolutely not. Do not make me leave your courtroom and go call a civil rights attorney because nobody here is big enough or bad enough to take my civil liberties.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So they probably took her to court. Now, that's what normally happens because they'll go in, like they call me, oh, grandma's belligerent, grandma's doing this, grandma's asking why, grandma. Yes, I'm belligerent. You're on my property. I told you to get off. You didn't do it. So, yeah, I'm mad. You keep sending the cops to my house. They're hiding their cars. I got CPS or foster care workers knocking on my door, Humpty and Dumpty. You got 9 fucking case workers up in here. For what? You wasted everybody's money. And on top of that, you said you had this child in custody, so you got a grant from the state. Bitch, where's the money?
Right. Yep. Where is the money? Show me the money.
That's right.
Show me the money. What do we all right, let's see here. What else we got?
And if you don't need services, they can't make you take services. Everything is about consent.
Yeah, it sure is. So what can you expect? Okay, the warrant comes. Now you're still not complying to the drug test. You're not complying to any of these things. What can you expect as a parent to come down the pike from this?
Well, first of all, I would challenge any court order for that a judge would court order me to take a drug test without a warrant. Because believe it or not, your bodily fluids, right? That's private. That's part of you. I would challenge everything. But see, not everybody's me. That's the problem. I would challenge everything. Why do I need a drug test? I'm not taking a drug test. Oh, so now you're taking my free will and you're gonna force me to do something. So that's a threat, that's coercion, and now I'm under duress. Most of the time, if you tell them that's fine, I'll see you in federal court, everything stops because now the judge is mad because she's an Article 1 judge, which means you're going to take it to federal court to an Article 3 judge who's over top of the Article 1 judge. File an injunction too. File a federal injunction on the judge. That just tells that judge that the federal people are now watching them.
Federal injunction on the judge.
Yep. And all these forms you can get from uscourts.gov.
Now, what does the federal injunction do?
What that does is they send a letter to the judge, because you got to put the judge's name and your case number and all that happy horse shit on there. They send a letter to the judge and they'll tell you, this injunction was filed on you, let's just say 4th Amendment right violation. So now we're watching you and we're watching this case. So you better do the right thing, because if not, they're going to be right back down here and they're going to be filing in federal court.
Federal injunctions.
Yep.
So, what is an? How do you get to the federal court?
Go to uscourts.gov. There's even a criminal complaint form you can file on a judge there. Every form you need for federal court is on there. I've got one of everything.
And it'll tell you how to get there. It tells you everything that you need to know. What to,
It gives you directions. It does everything.
uscourts.gov.
uscourts.gov. In fact, when my son had a CPS case because he slapped his kid in the back of his head for doing something really stupid, then he called the principal like a dumbass and told her, so she's a mandated reporter and then whatever. My son was like, I might need you to come to the school with me. I'm like, okay. So I pulled out my 1983 complaint. And if I win, I was going to ask everybody in the room, whose name do I put here as defendant? Do I put all of you? Do I put one of you? Whose names do I put on this paperwork right here?
So, yeah, I'm going to show you this right here. I'm going to pull this up. Let's see, where is it?
And Brooke, don't ever comply. Just keep saying, I do not consent. There you go. And on the side, it should have a place somewhere for forms. Download one of everyone. One of each form. Yep, there you go.
Right here, this one?
No. I can't see that. I can't see that. My eyes are horrible. There should be a place that says courts on it or forms.
Yeah, it says right here, federal court forms.
Oh, well, there you go.
All right.
I can't see. That's too small.
Yeah, it's you just need to. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Okay. Wow. So this gives you every. This gives you
everything.
Every form that you possibly need. Wow. Okay. Okay. Other forms, court reporter forms. Wow. Really nifty. What a great resource this is. If you're using this in the federal process. Wow, that's really cool. I mean, they got everything on here.
Everything.
Look at that CPS application for a search warrant. Wow, that's crazy. All right, well, you check all that stuff out. There's so much information. I love these sites that have all this information, all the stuff that you need, because it really allows you to be confident again in working in your case. Like when you try to put all your faith and trust in these lawyers that aren't going to really be there to defend you, and then they're not, and you feel like you're sinking. So at least you can go to sites like this that kind of almost empowers you again, brings you back to life, because you can go in there and be like, what the hell are you doing? USC code 55-43, whatever, tells me that I can do this, and this. And then they'll, well, I don't know, just do it, please, because and then it gets done. And you feel better because you knew that without you doing that, it wouldn't have happened. So education is key to all of this.
That's my go-to website.
Wow. Yep. All right. Sorry, I get stuck in reading some of these here.
And if people want to file complaints through their state judiciary committee, all they have to, like ours, is virginiacourts.gov, pulls up all the sites. You go all the way down. Of course, it's so small that you can barely see it. And it says report a judge or something, and you click on the link and the paperwork comes out. So you can go to your state and file a complaint. Now, are they going to do anything? Probably not. But the good thing is that stays on their record.
Okay, cool. So anything you file up there will stay in there on the record and be part of the record?
Yep. Just like if you file a grievance against a police officer, that it stays in their what they call jacket.
Yeah.
Same thing with the judge, same thing with the lawyer, because they got to keep record of this.
Right. Yep, they do. How long should you keep your court files after you have had this? Let's say everything's over with. Um, let's
Well, if you
say,
plan on suing them, you want to keep them until your lawsuit's over.
okay, so that's a
Because
division
everything
of
you
time.
have to file with your federal paperwork.
Okay, federal people.
And every state has a second chance law with parental rights. Everybody who's had their rights terminated needs to look into that, because there is a way to get your rights back. I just don't know if you can get the kids back.
Well, see, people's talk about that. So in the federal courts, is that it? That's more of a monetary thing than the
I think you do that through your state.
Okay.
I think that one is done on the state level.
Yeah, I'm going to do some research on that this week or this night. Research. Yeah. Don't forget, guys, we're not lawyers here.
No, we're not lawyers. I just know a lot about this stuff. And you have 24 months from the date of your termination to get your children back. I do know that.
Well,
and Spanny taught me that.
Yeah, well, there's states like Maine now and everything that they have the opportunity to get them back. You got to go through a bunch of bells and whistles like you already have been, but the states are definitely opening up channels to allow kids to come home if they're in foster care for extended periods of time. I mean, who knows how many there truly are, really, to be honest. But yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to the bottom of all this.
The reason that they're still calling them ward of the states is because they're still collecting money off the children for 3 years, I guess, in Minnesota. She said they're still calling them wards of the states after 3 years. It's because they're collecting money.
Right. Yep. Let's see here. What else we got? Minnesota, they have to still be wards of the state. Oh, that's what you just read. Meaning not being adopted out. Okay. All right. Well, I like that. We got any more questions of any of you guys out here that you guys have any specific questions that you want to ask us before we wrap this baby up?
Or tomorrow night we can do just a question and answer if they want to think about questions. That's what we do sometimes.
Yeah, good call. Maybe that's what we'll call Tuesday Talk Night. Tuesday Talk Night for the Tiff the Punisher show. So save your questions and everything for tomorrow night. Because we'll do Tuesday Talk Night. Tuesday Talk Night. Yeah. Well, hold on a minute here.
I want to say this because I want to answer Debbie's question real quick. It is legal for them to be on, and I'm going to tell you why. Because see, what people don't understand is CPS has contracts with the schools, the medical professionals, with everybody. And until you put them under a contract like I did, let me tell you what I did. I wrote up a letter for my grandson that is going to public school. And I'll tell you what it pretty much says. It says that nobody from the principal to the janitor can talk to him without me being there. And if they don't call me when they talk to him, even if he comes to them there to call me, I blatantly put in big black bold letters, I will sue you under 42 USC 1983 for violating his rights. Now, to get them out of your business, Debbie, and to keep them out of your Zoom meetings. Unless the child is already in state care, then there's nothing you can do. You tell them that they are violating your right to privacy with the school.
Okay. Tiffany. Violation. Okay, cool. All right, I got all that written down. So yeah. Oh, sweet. Thanks, Brooke. Appreciate that. Brooke said she gave a shout out to us for TikTok. Plus, we got our show here in the next 25 minutes. The CPS Victims Hunting Justice comes up. So, you seen any more questions up here, Tiff, that we need to be answering?
No, not right now.
No,
We can do that. We can answer questions tomorrow too. It's not a big deal. Plus, Debbie sends me messages all the time too. I have 501 subscribers on my channel.
Very nice.
Yeah, well, I don't want to get too big because the bigger you get, the more they censor you.
Well, I mean, we could go a little bit larger than that.
Well, yeah.
Like 10 million.
Oh, well, I don't know. Wait, oh my God.
Well, you get paid
Okay.
from that.
Oh, well.
Come on, Tiff. All right, what do you say? Ready to get out of here? All right, everybody. Stay tuned for CPS Victims Hunting Justice and be back here tomorrow night, same time, same place, with me and the Punisher. Talk Tuesday, right? All right. Make sure you watch the show. Have a good night, everybody.
We all think it won't be us. We say when they come, we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them, but when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeves. You can't do what you're trying to do. We have done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for their calling. They are giving us the CPS a warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She's tired of our kids being taken, god damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up by their tags. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So
imagine being a child who has been torn away from their security blanket, their parents, the ones who stopped the boogeyman from terrorizing the nights and curing their boo-boos when they scrape their knees. Now just imagine how they mightest feel when the CPS meant to protect them tears them away from their supposed abusers and places them with strangers who have zero comforting skills. They need to be calm. They are confused, lost, panicked, and needing their parents, but CPS took them away for the purpose of saving them. The kids don't even know why, and they are told that the parents they attach to no longer want them. What do you think that does? Do you think that this is how protecting children is supposed to look? Abolish CPS.